Alright, YouTube. It's Drizit back again. Um, Unfortunately, we had a bit of a hiccup with episode 11. This was the first one I was recording using OBS, which is a wonderful piece of software, but my God, is it complicated. Um, I thought I had everything nailed down. Turns out I didn't. And as a result, um, things did not go quite as planned. Um, and it ended up recording at about one frame every couple of minutes. Um, so it's taken a whole bunch more work and try to understand and get this thing going. And again, working with some of the people on Catherine's of Skies for Discord channel, Phoenix, tons of help, man. Appreciate it. And Catherine herself was the one who came up with exactly, well, one of the main things that I was missing and screwing up. The recording bitrate was, the default is 2500, but it should be 25,000. Um, and so the quality was awful. Um, on top of that, I was maxing out the system trying to record 60 frames a second, and it can't handle it. So the wonderful thing is I think we've got it all figured out. The downside is that episode 11 is completely dead. It was recorded and it is garbage. So I'm just going to give you a bit of a nickel tour of what we did in episode 11. Um, and then we will continue on with episode 12 in the next one. So this is going to be sort of a substitute for episode 11. At this point, there's been a couple of updates, nothing particularly major. Some optimizations. They do, however, have this mass upgrade and dismantle are now available, and I'm gonna check that out at some point. And what else have we got? And the devs are listening. They have said in one of their posts that they will be putting in copy and paste, particularly for inserters, and also blueprint designs. So they're basically going to take the need for a lot of the mods that people are running out and make them a part of the game. So that is fantastic. Um, so yeah, it's mostly bug fixes and stuff, and a couple of changes to the thermal power station and to the mini high noir, and to the mini fusion power station. So that's fine. My cat is now climbing me because I'm talking, and she can't have that. She has to be part of that. She's rubbing her face on the microphone. Yes, my dear. You're too cute. Okay. Um, Now, uh, in the meantime, let's turn on the music because it's better with music. This was part of my troubleshooting. I had the music off. So, okay. So let's see. Um, Up here, we have um, this is one of the main things that I got done in episode 11 is getting this logistics mall done. And so what we've done is we've made interstellar towers, um, and an assembler for each type of building. So say we've got an assembler for smelters, and the tower brings in the various things needed for smelters and holds smelters. Right now, I've got the limit set at 5,000. We'll see how that does. I think it'll be fine because it makes them fairly quick. Um, they've got just enough drones to go and pick up the supplies they need, because they're never going to use these drones to deploy the smelters. However, each of these towers has a full complement of ships, and that's what's going to get them to where we need them. The only different setup is this one here. This one's bringing in the mini fusion power stations from where they're being made, over by where our deuterium is made, and and then it's also bringing in the Mark 1 smelter supplies for this guy. And this one's making our Mark 1 smelters, feeding them into this box. This thing is taking them out of the box so that it can make Mark 2 smelters and getting everything it needs from this tower. Now, since I turned all of this on, there has been a massive shortage of processors and graphene. So I had to do some updates on that. So we've got smelters there. This one is just doing the charge. Well, it's bringing in all the stuff to make the empty accumulators, and then they've got a charging station here to create charged accumulators. And we've got charged accumulators in this tower if we need them somewhere, although not in any huge scale because we've only got one charger. But, you know, a couple if we need them here and there. But what that's doing is it's actually allowing me to bring in the interstellar logistics tower here, the charged accumulators, the reinforced thrusters, and that's actually allowing us to make orbital collectors. And we have 100 orbital collectors in stock right now, which is the minimum I can set, but that will allow us to completely populate 2 gas giants and still have leftover. So that'll do. On this one we're doing chemical plants. Over here we're doing power poles of the 2 kinds that we use. I'm not doing the substations yet because we just don't have the resources for them. Then we've got the splitters and the wind turbines. And here we've got miners. We'll see what else I feel like we might need. Right now our belts are not interstellar, so I'm going to have to change that tower out and make the belts interstellar. Because we're definitely going to want interstellar belts. So let's just fly around here and see what we've got. In order to keep everything running, I've basically gone and found all of the, you know, stone veins and coal veins and more stone and just start feeding them into towers. So far this is just to keep this planet going. I haven't used up all the coal yet because I just haven't needed it, so it's just worth if I have a tower with empty spots. But what we're doing is, like this tower is picking up these magnetic rings and more stone. Just, you know, excess stone from from this mine that's not being used completely here. And then it's picking up the excess magnetic rings that are not needed for this array, for the green motors. And that way we've got more things in the network where we need them. We're actually starting to stock green motors again, it appears. Excellent. You know, and then things like all that stone that we're collecting throughout the world, it's coming in here to beef up this thing so we keep full production here. Or is this iron? No, this is iron. Sorry. All the iron the raw iron we're collecting is going to beef this up and keep these running. We also beefed up the graphene production. We've extended that out. It was originally just 6 machines. And so we've extended that out, and I extended out the X-ray cracking, which has resulted in us having a lot more hydrogen, but the burners are burning. We've got a buffer stored up. I mean, we've got a lot of hydrogen here. But not so much, because of the way things are set up, it's not so much that we have stopped. Because if there's no gaps going this way, then the excess comes out here. So we're still flowing. We're still going. And everything seems to be fairly happy. What have we got a lack of here? Oh, well, lack of oil. Um, I'm sure I could feed some in from a tower, like this one. So if we grab a little oil, we'll demand a full tower's worth, um, because I know there's lots out there at the moment. And then which line is the oil coming on? That one. So we'll just grab a belt and give it a marker. And it's down on the ground, I believe. Yeah? Is that up in the air? Oh, it should be on the ground. Oh, maybe it is up in the air. Okay, that's fine. Let's put us on the ground. This is much easier. Oh yeah, it is in the air. Okay. Back one more. So that'll tee in. So that means that the other oil should take priority. We'll see how it goes. If it causes backlogs, we'll take it out. You know, we'll figure out some way of filtering it down. And that'll keep the sulfuric acid happy. Now, of course, we probably don't have enough sulfuric acid production going because of all the other stuff that I created there, but we'll increase this if we need to, you know? In fact, you know what? Let's just toss in a couple more stations while we're here. Let's do that, because it'll take very little time. Toss one there, and, well, just one there. That's okay. That's better than nothing. Okay. This tower we've seen before, so that increases that. And this is all still going back to here and flowing into these buffers. Zooming around. We're still prioritized for science. That is prioritized to, so basically this one here is prioritized to feed this belt that goes down and around and comes back. So only if there's a stack up here that we can't send down to that area we just were, does it then come around and hit these burners. And that's sort of the way I've been doing things. We are burning graphene here. We haven't, I mean, there's no bypass on it, but it's pretty much full all the time these days, so it may as well. And I'm hoping that extra oil usage down there can get rid of some of this. Over here, this is where we automated the ships. I can't remember if we did that in episode 10 or not. But this is our automated production of the motors for the two kinds of ships. What are these? Product stacking. So we've got 1,000 vessels and 2,000 drones ready to go. Our excess processor usage has gone down some. But we seem to be running out of silicone in the outside world. Well, maybe not running out per se, but we're not getting enough of it. So we may need to increase our ability to export it from the other planet. I'm not sure why there's only 5 ships, why 5 ships are still sitting here, but we'll figure it out. I've added as many more of these silicone ore the smelters that I could, and then to keep all of these belts full, because again we're starting to lose veins in these mines, I've dropped a tower here that's taking in all the stone from the world, as well as the green chips that it can get its hands on. And it's distributing those that stone to all of these lines to keep them topped up. The green chips are coming in here. Well, they're sort of two ways. One is we created a bunch more assemblers here. And to support that, we beefed up this little side iron plate production. And you know, we're feeding all the extra iron from these mines into the tower. So you see how it is. It's you know, if there's excess, it'll go in there. And same here, we've got a load balancer on these to keep them happy, and then we're stealing from both sides to fill up this. And this array is just stealing from one side. And all that goes to feed all of these assemblers that are making the green processors, the green chips. And that sort of circles around. And then any lack here will be topped up by this tower. But because the belt is side-loaded from the tower, that means that only if this belt is empty will stuff come from the tower. Because that one's getting it basically from our mall, our original mall. Then we've got, well, I made more. Well, I've upgraded these processors. We're bringing in more silicone from this tower, but it seems to be having trouble keeping up. But that's okay. And then we've got the, what are these called? The microcrystalline components. We were originally just making, I think it was just the one row here, and then we threw on another row and another row, and I realized that after I made all of these processors, because originally we just had one or maybe two banks of processors, and everything was out of processors. Everything. I mean, we had that big stack of boxes, it was empty, everything was producing basically nothing that we'd created because it was all waiting for processors. So we added all of this to the microcrystalline components, so that, and then upped our copper smelting ability, to keep everything fed, and then upped our processor production. And then we've got a splitter here where we're taking one set into this tower for making the local towers, one belt into this tower to distribute to whoever needs it in the world. We're finally catching up. This is the first time where the storage has not been at zero. And then we're getting another line over here to distribute out for ship production. And it's finally starting to come about. And then as time goes, once we get warpers, we're going to need to start making sure they get everywhere, but for now we're okay. The one thing I did do at the mall, the new mall that we made, the logistics mall, is there's a belt running around the whole thing that will distribute warpers that are being called in one tower. I believe it's the one that does the... Let's fly over there. Oh yeah, actually, while we're here, nothing new there other than we took the excess of this, the silicon crystals, or crystal silicon, and the excess that flows by these things is now going into the tower so we can use it in our logistics mall. The blue motors, we up production of a bit. Where'd they go? Oh, this is our original mall. Um, and yeah, while we're here, um, this spaghetti is still fun. I'm never gonna demolish the spaghetti. I've threaded a bunch of stuff out of these boxes and into these towers, as well as grabbing up all the minerals that were here and were kind of in the way of them all. And so I fed all those minerals into this tower again to sort of support the rest of the world. Um, this was just the windmills that were sitting in a box. Um, and yeah, and so this is taking in finished goods from the mall to distribute. Um, and then same with this. This is taking in all finished goods to distribute. Um, now, where was my blue motor production? I want to say it's over here somewhere. I think. I think. Ah, here it is. So this one we upgraded as well because we were not getting close to enough blue motors. Um, so we took the original smelting array, which ended here, I believe, and basically doubled it to come out to here. Um, and we can make it even a little bigger if we need to, but so far it seems to be keeping up. Um, and then added a whole bunch more of these to fill this in as far as we could up to the tower. And that's keeping these super magnetic rings in, keeping them happy. And then we're bringing more iron in because again, this was the correct number of veins for this. So we're bringing more iron in from the tower, putting it into the load balancing array here as a secondary source. So it'll primarily choose what's already coming from the mines and then take secondarily what the world is giving it. This will also allow us to keep this kind of thing running because we have this iron as we've got it as remote storage right now, but later on we can set it to remote demand when we run out. And so as long as there is iron in the solar system, it will keep running. So, you know, and the same thing with all the resources, right? We can feed coal into here to keep these diamonds going. Okay, so the last thing, if we pop back up to the logistics mall here, and, oh, it's daytime, good. So then, yeah, you can see there's a belt here that runs from tower to tower to tower. That is to carry the warpers, which are going to come in under this tower. So they'll ship in here, and this should be local demand. Yeah. So they'll ship into here when we start making them, and that way they can be shipped out to the universe from here as well. So I mean, once we've got them making in quantity, we can up the storage capacity, and then it'll ship them to this tower, which was a bit difficult because of this this oil extractor here. So there was a limited number of places to put the belt, so that required a bit of spaghetti, but that's okay. Spaghetti's fun. And then it just goes tower to tower to tower to tower, and then loops all the way around, and then continues tower to tower to tower. And so as I come up with more things that I need here, like when we start doing the rail ejectors and the dishes and stuff, we'll be putting that manufacturing here as well. And so then we just break this belt, stick it into the tower, out of the tower, and onto the next one. So we should have room to do pretty much all the buildings we want up here, and we can also put some in the middle as well. And yeah, so that's pretty much everything we accomplished in episode 11. That's the nickel tour, and basically all the rest of the time has been spent figuring out why it screwed up. why everything's screwed up. You know, some production upgrades here. Increase the production of green motors to help keep up. That's another thing we did up here is... no, I didn't upgrade these. Huh. You know what? Just for fun, it's going to cause starvation, but let's see here. So we've got a couple of different things. Well, let's land, first of all. So that is... So we can upgrade that. That's kind of cool. Okay, and then what is this? Hold shift to chain upgrade. Interesting, that's grabbing all the belts. But not the buildings. Hold shift. No, okay. Okay, so it'll just do, it'll chain belts. That's okay. So that's big as of a zone as we can do. But if we hold shift, it grabs all the belts that are under it. I didn't know I still had old conveyor belts there. I thought they were already upgraded. Nifty. Lack of replacement item. Oh, I guess that's trying to upgrade the buildings too. That's kind of cool. That's neat. Okay. So you could do massive upgrades for a whole array that way. Like, I mean, these are smelters, so we can't do anything about it. If we want to do all of these, though, you could just put that up. I mean, we're not going to do it because we don't need to upgrade those. Oh, you can change the number of levels that it upgrades, too. Or you can downgrade? Oh, that's cool. So you can decide that you didn't really need a level 3 belt there. Apparently we're out of belts. That's fine. That's kind of cool. So yeah. So if you want to do this whole area, it could be done rather quickly rather than building by building by building. Particularly if you had old inserters, old buildings, old belts, you can just whack this whole area up to date. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Find some of your first generation stuff that you made with level 1 inserters and, you know, that sort of thing. Pretty cool. Alright, so that's it for today, I think. We'll just land here because we're going to need belts when we start the next one. Guys, if you could like the videos, comment, suggestions, requests, just the word first, whatever it is. You know, remember the YouTube algorithm loves interactions. And the more interactions it gets, the happier it is. And the happier it is, the more people it shows the videos to. And the more people it shows the videos to, the more people watch them. And it's a big vicious circle. So anything you can do to help me out with the algorithm would be much appreciated. As a new channel starting off, it's tough to start building. It's tough to get that ball rolling. So, you know, like, subscribe. I mean, you know, if you just kind of like it, subscribe anyway, and you can choose to watch the video or not as it comes up. But in the meantime, I will see you in the next episode. I should have all the recording glitches worked out now, so we should be back to our regular schedule of... I probably won't be uploading every day at this point. I just don't have the time, but at least every couple of days we're going to try to get a video out. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Try not to have too much fun, and don't do anything I wouldn't do.